Hi students, welcome back to Teacher Rob's classroom. We have been talking about disc golf and also how to make beautiful disc golf discs. So this is our third try for dyeing a disc, and as you saw in some of the pictures before this video, I have taken a disc and I have cut a nice stencil into it, and now we're going to try and dye that stencil. Before we tried using some food dye. We've also tried using powder dye for natural fabrics, and we'll show you the results of both of those attempts. This is our third attempt, and I'm wondering which one of those three attempts do you think actually works? Which one of these will actually work? Let's take a look at what we have today. Today we're going to be using this RIT dye. We had to order this special. This dye is different from the other dyes because it's synthetic fiber dye. Synthetic is a word that means not natural. So clothes that are made from cotton, those are natural garments. They're made from a natural fiber. Some clothes that are made from synthetic fibers include nylon, rayon, and polyester. Here's a question for you. Is the disc golf disc a natural fiber or synthetic? Which one do you think it is? It's made from something called plastic. Is plastic something that we grow naturally in the world, or is it something that was made by man? That's the key difference. Things that are synthetic are made by man. Things that are natural are found in nature. So these are synthetic dyes. We have liquid form of the dye, and we have a powder form of the dye. Now, the only difference between this one and this one is this one comes pre-mixed, and this one you have to add some warm water to. But we can also put this directly on the shaving cream as we tried with the other dye, and we'll see what happens. We're just experimenting. We will see what happens. I wonder if you took a moment right now to think, what do you think will happen when we use these dyes? What do you think happens when we use the other dyes that we tried before? We're going to take a look in just a moment. I'll be right back. We're back, and here is the disc that we're going to dye. As you can see, it's made from plastic. It's made from plastic, and it has a clear plastic, what we call contact paper stencil on it. A stencil is something that you cut out. A stencil can be something that you cut out and use as a pattern for an art project. Anywhere that we put this plastic, hopefully it won't turn any color. So the only parts that are going to turn any color are the parts that have been cut out. Now, you may recall from the pictures of the stencil cutting process that we took what is called contact paper. It's paper like this. Sometimes your mother or father might use this to put on the shelves in your kitchen. Usually when they do that, it has a pattern, but this one is completely clear. Let's see if I can peel away a little corner of the contact paper for you. This is sometimes difficult to do. If we peel this away, you'll see that the backing is white, but the paper is not coming out easily. It's clear. Here's a better example. So here you see the paper is clear. It's clear, and my stencil was actually the middle part of this paper. So I put this on the paper, then I place the paper on the disc like this, And then I cut out all of the white parts to make what was eventually this stencil. And you can see that paper is super sticky, which is great because we don't want it to allow any of the dye color underneath and onto the disc. So here's our disc. I hope you can see the pattern there. It's like a skull with a lightning bolt in it. It's actually from one of my favorite musical groups, the Grateful Dead. So this is their logo, and I'm hoping my disc is going to turn out super cool like this. All right, so first thing we're going to do is put on our plastic gloves. We don't want to get this dye. It's permanent almost. It's not permanent on your hands, but it'll stay for a long time. So let's see if I can get my meat hooks in here. There we go. And put this one on. Do I remind you of a doctor? Ready for surgery? There we are, doctor. Okay, so now the familiar, you can use a pie plate. You can use, I suggest you get a big plastic bowl, like a wash tub, or this is a lid from a big old bucket of paint. So we're gonna take that. And once again, apply our, oh man, this stuff smells like crazy floral. So yeah, we're gonna put this on there and it makes your disc smell too. One thing you can do though, you don't have to use shaving cream. You can use shampoo or conditioner as well. Conditioner or shampoo work equally as well. But whatever you put on there, it's going to make your disc smell like the fragrance of the product. I'm using this golf disc here, but remember, if you want to try this at home, you can use just a regular Frisbee that you get from the local hardware store, or what I call the best friends store. And I forgot to grab a card, so give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a card. I'll be back in 1 second. So this is another thing you'll need, a plastic card. I've got my old Easy card here, my MRT card, and I'm just going to use that to level, which means to make it all the same height, level off the shaving cream, and then I'll just clean this up and it'll still be fine, but it'll probably smell like shaving cream, but that's okay. So I just want to spread it around so I get out all the little air pockets on here. So as you see, I'm just kind of leveling the shaving cream. You want to have an even distribution. You want to spread it out evenly so that it covers the entire surface, because this is what our disc is going to rest in when we do the dye process. So we want to make sure that there's enough shaving cream and it's pretty even throughout pie plate or whatever it is that you choose to use. That's pretty even. Doesn't need to be perfect, but you see it's all spread out nice and even across the surface here. And we'll just set this off to the side. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so now we have our shaving cream on here. We need to add the color now. So I'm going to go with some red here. I'm not sure, do I need to shake? I'm just going to shake it anyway, just to make sure. Shake it all up. And, oh, I need to get a little chopstick so that I can spread it around. So I'm going to go, let's see, I think I have one over here, maybe right there on the bottom. There we go. My wonderful assistant is helping us out here. She's going to get the chopstick together. And I think I also need your help. Oh no, there we go. I got it. So I want to be careful with this. I don't want to get it on everything. That's why I put this paper down too. I suggest if you're doing this at home, Please ask your parents first and make sure you cover your surface with something so you don't get it too messy. So I'm just gonna, you can use an eyedropper too. I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle this on here. We're gonna make a very random design here, which is really okay because, well, tie-dye is something that's very popular, and this is gonna have kind of like a, what we call a tie-dye look to it. Tie-dye, make sure we add that to the vocabulary words. And then I'm gonna put on a little bit of, I think I'm gonna go red and blue, just to see how it turns out. So we'll put red there. And I'm gonna get some blue. I'm gonna use a separate clean chopstick so we don't mix the colors together. But what if I did mix the red with the blue? What color do you think that would make? What color do red and blue make when they're mixed together? Let's see. Oh, I should shoot this up. Okay, good. Glad it didn't leak. Yeah. Different color on it. There we go. So, wow, these look really cool, don't they? I like the way the dye looks. Can't wait to see how this turns out. One other thing you can do is, if you like, you can make a little pattern here. I'm going to try to make a little bit of a, what we call a peace sign here. And there, maybe, I'm hoping that's going to show up on the disc. Is somewhat of a little pattern. And you can make little swirls if you want. I'm going to make some swirls here, mix them up a little bit. There we go. That's going to be super cool looking. All right, and then this here, we will take the disc and we'll carefully place it on top of this pattern. And remember, we have the stencil, so we're hoping that the pattern will only go in the places that are open, the parts that we cut out. This is a complicated pattern. You don't have to do it this complicated. You could just make an X or a smiling face or something like that. Peace sign, let me show you this, what I did here. So this is like peace sign, right? So this is like the peace sign. And since my disc has the shape of a head, I do want to place this on there a certain way. I want it to match the shape of the sign. If you do random pattern and you just make a smiley face, you don't have to worry about that, but I'm going to try here to line this up so that it lands in a way that's going to pick up this pattern. And I'm actually push it down just a little bit right there, and we are going to wait for the shaving cream to oxidize. It's going to oxidize. Oxidize means it's going to remain exposed to the oxygen, and the oxygen is going to change the shaving cream a little bit. It's going to take away some of its density. It won't be quite as thick as it was before. So when we are done in 24 hours, you'll see this whole thing will look completely different. Hopefully then we can just take the disc off, rinse it off, and we will have our pattern. What do you think? Do you think there'll be a pattern there? Make your guess. See how well you do. Anyway, until our next video, or until we see the results, have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. We're so happy to have you. Thank you. Bye-bye.